Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Now, I'm having to dig deep. I'm only the second day in, and I'm finding that it's going to be hard for me not to either talk about school or comedy or my dad. It's going to be difficult. And I was looking in the paper and it was like, hey, I'd like to talk about this. Like I talked about Afghanistan yesterday. But then I found out that I've covered a lot of stuff that I was reading again in the paper, like reparations for Native Americans and African Americans. And so, I decided to make this episode about my kids because I really haven't talked about them a lot. I mention them sometimes, but I'm really proud of these two kids. I'll start with Dante. As you all know, Dante is 23, and he just started his job at Lucky Bird Chicken, where he makes sauces and preps chicken. I think he breads chicken, and they love him there already. And he is. I'm just proud of this kid, what he's had to overcome in his life. Um, he's obviously had to overcome autism. He has done so much more than I was really even. I wouldn't say my wildest dreams. I mean, wildest dreams is he ends up perfectly independent somehow, like snaps out of autism like you would a coma, and all of a sudden he just starts talking to me like, "Yeah, Dad, I got so much to say. It's been 23 years and I haven't been able to say a lot." Obviously, that's like a pipe dream, but I really am proud of what he does and how independent he is and how on top of things he is. I always tell him, Dante, you're just always doing what you're supposed to do. He really is. If I shouldn't say forget to feed him, but it's like sometimes I have. Sometimes like just kind of forgot to do dinner one night. I was out late and I was like, oh geez, forgot all about that. He fed himself like a 23-year-old should, but a lot of 23-year-olds with special needs might not. He always gets his dishes to the sink. He has his schedule down. I forget his schedule sometimes with the service providers he has and the work he does, and he just, like I said, he just does what he's supposed to do, and it's great. It's a real gift. He takes public transportation, which I think I mentioned that before too, and prefers to take public transportation for the new job. Um, it's within walking distance, about a mile maybe. It's a decent walk, or maybe even a mile and a half. So I gave him that option. Or my mom is here during the days when I'm at work. I can't take him. He works in the middle of the day, so I offered for my mom to take him possibly, and he's like, "No, I'll take the bus." I was like, "Okay, great." So he takes the bus. He gets there on time. He does his job. Comes home. He only works 15 hours a week, but it's still um, he's he's just he gets there, and he, like, not only at home does he do what he's supposed to do, at the job he does what he's supposed to do. They love him there because he does what he's told to do. He does it properly. He doesn't have to be reminded of a bunch of things. If he understands the changes he has to make. So he's become he's a man, and sometimes when you're a parent, you don't want to think of your kids as men or women, or in my case with Logan, not sure yet. So once again, it goes dark on a weird line. But Dante, I'm very just psyched with him and proud. Um, we will be going to Grand Junction in about a week. I'm going to do comedy out there. I'm going to see my friend Josh, and the boys will come with me. And like I said, one man and one not boy. I mean, Logan, like I say, I'm figuring out. He's figuring it out. It's weird because that's an entirely different nut to crack. But I got another minute to talk about Dante and just what he's been through, and I think I've mentioned that in an early video, probably really early in the year, when I just decided, hey, I got nothing else to talk about. I'll talk about my kids. But he did. I mean, he was born. Seriously, as soon as he was born, he had a strike against him, um, and it may have caused his autism. It may not have, but he came out. And I wasn't even able to cut the umbilical cord because it was so long. The doctor said it was the longest umbilical cord he'd ever seen. It was wrapped around his arm, his leg, his body, and his neck 3 times. It was like he was doing the twist in there or something. I don't know, with breakdancing or what. But he ended up really tangled up really badly. And as soon as he came out, he was kind of blue. He wasn't getting the oxygen. And the doctor said, I got this. I was like, yeah, please get this. I don't need the pride of cutting the cord. Who cares? I want a healthy child. And he took that first breath and he cried, and we were relieved. And things seemed to be going pretty normally the first year and a half of his life, and then it kind of leveled off. And then he's been a child with autism for 22 years now. So, and he's done great. I have no complaints at all. The early years were difficult, but ever since then, he's just been a treat and a wonderful kid. So, extremely lucky with him. Let's talk about kid number 2. And I'm trying to call Logan and not he. Logan is honestly one of the most independent thinkers and independent people I've ever known. Where Dante is a rule follower and has to live that lifestyle to have a good and easy life, I guess. Logan has chosen the opposite path, and he is extremely independent. Like I said, considers himself a trans person. We will see where that goes. I've mentioned that in the past too. We'll see, and he's going to be 17 next month. So we'll see where the next few years lead, and where that will take Logan. I brought a T-shirt I just bought that he made. Logan's creative, extremely talented artist, and I just think this is hilarious. So it says, I might wear it for the comedy show in Grand Junction when we go, but get cheesed, dumbass, in case you couldn't read it. It was just him and his friends screwing around on Discord. His friends were like, make something, and he comes up with these things, and some of the works are sort of original looking, and some of them aren't as original looking, but he really does have really good ideas. He's been trying to get into game development, which is really cool. I like that he's already way smarter than I am. He does have to learn some basics. He has to learn some common sense stuff, I think, still at 17 or nearly 17, but I got no complaints about this kid either. And this isn't a brag. I don't want to come off as a brag. I just want to come off. I know I've done my due diligence as a parent, so I think I've reaped what I've sown, so to speak. I mean, not everything's perfect. I sure have had some issues parenting and not been very good at it a lot of times, but I've also put in the work. And I think when you put in the work, you get the results. Hey, if I stopped eating cupcakes and donuts, I probably wouldn't be all flabby. You put in the work, you do what you're supposed to do, and you get the results generally. But yeah, so this kid, Logan's something. Logan went to Challenge School, which is a school for gifted kids, grades 1st through 8th grade. He went there, did pretty well, had a lot of emotional problems, especially when Dylan and I first got divorced nearly 10 years ago. And it was tough on him, and just life in general is tough. Even though Logan, sorry, has inherited his mother's brains, he's also unfortunately inherited her issues as far as depression and anxiety. And I think Logan will do well, but there are times I worry because Logan hasn't even made it out of high school yet, and we'll see. Like I said, artist, free thinker, very free thinker, a leftist, even probably further left than I am, which is hard to be, but defends it and will argue it. And I've actually seen him own adults my age in an argument, and it's great. And these people will look at his profile. I've seen him do this on Twitter. They look at his profile and go, oh, what do you know? You're 15. This was back when he was 15. He's like, well, apparently I know more than you because you're arguing about our age. Are you going to argue the point or not? He's just burning people triple and quadruple his age. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And I'm pretty proud of it, too, because there is a standard that should be met when you enter into an argument. Arguments are won or lost. Whether we've tried to make these things, well, everyone has their opinion. Well, not all opinions are right. If you're going to have opinion, try to base it on facts. And that's a standard that Logan upholds, and I'm really proud of Logan for that. I'm wanting Logan to get into whatever production Overland High School does this year. They do a play every year. I'm not sure what it is yet. I need to ask. I'll probably ask tomorrow because I'll be in that neck of the woods with some of my kids in the theater and the musical part of the school. So I do want to see what Logan will. I really want Logan. I'm sorry. I just default to he, but got skills that can do accents. Really good memory. I think Logan can act really, really well, and I really want to see that this spring when they put on a production. So yeah, Logan's done stand up with me and done way better. It's a little disappointing considering I've done it 12 years. Yeah, so that's it. I'm over 10 minutes. Just wanted to, like I said, not trying to make it a brag, but a little bit of a brag, but also an appreciation to be lucky to have kids that are growing into fine men, one man, one maybe woman. We'll see where that goes. All right, thanks you guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.